When we talk about community support for the arts, I think there are very few places that can compare to Worcester.
I believe in the arts because I think that the arts are what makes us possible to imagine something different than what we may see just right in front of us.
Art is the way people express themselves. It's hugely important. And whether you know it or not, you're probably creating art 10 or 20 times a day in your life.
It's part of our culture, and it's part of what makes life worthwhile.
It brings a whole new dimension to a community when you build an arts center.
This is all kind of in the aura of the college's relationship to the community.
The Arts Center was located in the basement of the old library on the College of Worcester campus.
It was a bit of a struggle in the beginning. In the basement, we were so limited. We could only offer a few classes. The scheduling was difficult.
The most significant growth, of course, was when the building that we're in now, when the Walnut Street School was totally renovated.
Which was totally funded by Rubbermaid. Not the Rubbermaid Foundation, because there was no foundation at the time. This was Rubbermaid Incorporated.
And I think my longtime friend Ted Bodner might have had a wee bit to do with that.
It took us quite a while to begin to convince people that the arts were an important component in the community.
In the early days, they had some very effective boards.
There are hundreds of men and women who have been really pivotal in the life of the center at different times.
Ted Williams and Dick Gates and George were all early board members that really made that whole process much simpler.
The most influential person, of course, was Arm Lewis, whose inspiration this was.
Arm was a art professor at the College of Worcester, and he had this bright idea that Worcester needed an art center.
Someplace where everybody can find something that suits their interests.
He was magic with little kids, particularly his own.
Stan Galt.
And Stan Galt was always had my back. He was so giving and generous and had a special love for the Arts Center.
Stan said, well, I gave Dick Gates and Ted Bodner an unexceedable budget, and they promptly exceeded it. So,
Believe me, I was hearing from Dick Gates, this is not an unlimited budget.
dealing with him was a treat, I will say that.
So those early days, we spent a lot of time just working on programming.
We'd have performances and workshops and marvelous things that would enrich the children's lives.
It was great to see the way children responded to the opportunity to be creative.
There have been many wonderful exhibits down here, things you just wouldn't expect.
We had a chamber music series in what used to be the gymnasium, is now the little theater.
I've come to be as much of a chamber music junkie as my mother.
I think the scope and the depth of what you all have accomplished is really remarkable and brilliant in many ways.
It goes well beyond fundraising. It's relationship building.
It's been hugely important in a lot of people's lives for the meeting people aspect.
I think one thing that is very striking is the diversity of people that it serves over time.
Creativity literally flows through people's hands and then becomes something objective that other people can relate to and benefit from.
And I think just knowing that the center is here and knowing that it is offering everything that is being provided for children and adults. I think that's just so important that our community has those benefits.
It is certainly an asset to our community. And I hope that the center's anniversary will really be an occasion where people can reflect about how lucky we are to have this community resource.
They were interested in seeing something better, something good within the community, and that's what has made the Wayne Center for the Arts and Worcester so strong.
What an honor it was to work at our beloved Wayne Center for the Arts. Long may she live.
Long may she live.